Well, there were certainly more downs than ups in the corporate world this year. Economists and analysts had a tough time of it, as well as those who saw their stock investments plummet. But Northwest economist John Mitchell always sheds a little levity on the situation, each year taking creative license with business news and weaving the major events into an economic poem.
I've been doing this stuff for about 30 years, and I was trying to find sort of a different way to talk about the economy that people might find interesting, because I think, you know, some of the economists sometimes can be pretty dry and dull and not a very interesting subject, and so I try to do something like that.
So with his 2002 business review, here's John Mitchell with his poetic perspective.
In the spring, the recession was fading fast, but in the financial markets, it did last and last. Real GDP rose and incomes did swell. Home values were soaring and refis as well. Stock prices were headed for 3 years of decline. The bubble had burst and there was blame to assign. There was Enron and Anderson and those darn analysts too, not to mention our enthusiasm about the things tech would do. Worries were mounting as the leaves began to fall. The threat seemed to grow that the upturn would stall. Retail sales, job counts, and the stock market did drop. But the upturn is unlikely to stop. War worries have grown and threats do remain as the nation tries to deal with Saddam Hussein. Basic trust has been rent and must be restored. One wonders how much more consumers can afford. Amidst the tech wreck, 9/11 and the bear market's length, the forces of recovery are gathering their strength. Low rates, less inventory, and things wearing out. These are old, well-known forces that turn things about. Profits are rising and utilization is too. Next year, capital formation will come slowly through. Employment trends up at a pace that is slow, much different than we saw only 2 years ago. The bubble was fun in the years that it lasted. I suppose that it was somewhat like getting blasted. It's hangover time and our growth it constrains, but this too will pass in a new refrain.
After a bear market that many have called the worst in a generation, many strategists do think things will improve in 2003. But there are certainly many economic obstacles to overcome. Alyson Outen, Idaho's News Channel 7.